Let's go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Monday, April 18th, 2011 City Council meeting.
Okay, I'll take that one.
Roll call, please.
I did.
Alderman Tempest.
Present.
Alderman Needham.
Present.
Alderman Larson.
Present.
Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Cunningham.
Present.
Alderman Conkin.
Present.
Alderman Moiseo.
Present.
Alderman Figueroa.
Present.
Alderman Newsom.
Present.
We have a quorum. Thank you. Please rise for the pledge. Moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated, please. You know, we were trying to figure out just before the meeting, we had talked to somebody during the week about actually speaking during the, using some of my mayor's comments time, and we weren't able to remember who that individual was. I'm embarrassed to say it. I don't think that the person is here this evening. So what I'm going to do is just go very quickly and give you a quick reading of some events that are going to be going on, both here at the City Hall, Genesee Theater, and other locations. April 18th at 1:00 p.m., which is a Tuesday, tomorrow, we are having a Waukegan House redistricting hearing being held by Rita Mayfield, Elaine Nekritz, and Lou Lang will be coming up. April 21st, Thursday, at the library in the Bradbury Room, they're having a showing of Waiting for Superman, which I believe the public is invited to attend. I don't believe there's any cost for that. On Tuesday, April 26th, from 6 to 8 p.m., here in the City Hall, we're hosting a Road to Home Ownership being put on by the City of Waukegan and Seaway Bank and Trust Company. And there should probably be quite a bit of information there for homeowners, prospective homeowners, and current ones as well that are struggling to maintain their homes. On April 27th, which is Wednesday from 7 to 9 at Clockwise Theater, we are hosting the Waukegan branch of the Miles Davis Tribute. And Harrison Bankhead, who is a Waukegan resident and actually worked for the city for a number of years, is performing. Robert Irving III, who was one of Miles Davis's producers, will be there to talk a little bit about his experiences with Miles Davis. We have a hometown author event on Thursday, April 28th from 5 to 7 p.m. It's free at the Genesee Theater. Kelly Simmons, the author of The Birdhouse, and the author of Standing Still will be there to read from her book, and wine and hors d'oeuvres are being provided courtesy of Stevens Restaurant. Saturday, May 14th, 5 p.m. to 1 a.m., we are hosting our second Art Walk event, which was a great success the first time around. I'd encourage everybody to come down for that. Monday, May 16th is the lunch with the mayor at the Genesee Theater. Art Space obviously is still ongoing, and I believe that Violet Rickard was going to speak about Art Space again. Violet, did you want to come up now, or why don't you use the mayor's comments time to do this, and that way we can get it out of the way before the meeting gets going.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council. For those of you who have not yet heard about the Art Space project, this is a very exciting project in downtown Waukegan that will be coming into the old Karcher Hotel, which is located at Washington and MLK Streets. It's the big red brick building just a couple blocks down from here. We're very fortunate to have partnered with the not-for-profit developer Art Space, which is a nationally recognized not-profit developer of live workspaces for artists. We have 36 live workspaces that are being built into this particular hotel, which means means we'll have approximately 80 to 100 new neighbors coming into downtown. We're very excited about that. We are working on the last community fundraising piece, but of a $12.5 million project, we've already raised over $12 million. Part of that is in historic tax credits and low-income tax credits, and anytime that ArtSpace has received those tax credits, they've always been able to complete the project. So if you have any requests for more information on that, you can look at artspacewaukegan.org, or you can visit the Main Street website, which is waukeganmainstreet.org. So this is, again, a very exciting project with groundbreaking slated for this July, and then the project to be completed in fall of 2012. Thanks.
Thanks, Wyla. Appreciate it. Next, we have audience time. First up is, I'm not sure about the last name, Paul, 1117 Autogram. Paul, could you give us your last name, please?
Rice, R-I-C-E.
R-I-C-E, okay, thank you.
Alderman, mayors, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Rice. I live at 1117 Autogram in Beach Park, which is controlled by Waukegan. And I'm here tonight to try not to get emotional, even though it's kind of hard not to, because we're about to listen to the alderman and mayor here and make a decision that's going to change the lives drastically of a lot of good men and women that work for this city, that put their lives on the line day and night. I moved here 9 years ago when I got hired, and when they dropped residency, I stayed because I like this city. I'd like to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, right now, what you're doing to fix the financial situation in the city. You guys keep on blaming the past administration, and outside of one alderman and a mayor, you guys are the past administration that have been making bad decisions for years now. And raising taxes and cutting city services is not the answer. You guys need to bring some kind of businesses into this place besides taquerias and dollar stores. That's not going to cut the mustard. You guys got to bring some kind of manufacturing or something into the city. People aren't going to come and knock on your door. You got to go and get them. That's about all I got to say. You guys haven't showed any kind of progress on how to straighten this mess up here. I just hope that somehow you figure out how not to cut city services here, because if you really, really care about this city and the citizens here, cutting police and fire and public works is not the answer.
Thank you. Next, we have Diane Verratti.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. Violet took a little bit of my thunder there, because I, as a resident of Waukegan and someone who's been involved in many volunteer capacities over the last few years, now as a volunteer with Waukegan Main Street, I'm serving on the ArtSpace Fundraising Task Force, and I serve as a commissioner on the Waukegan Renaissance Commission. I just wanted to mention the sort of the confluence of all of the good things that are coming into not only our downtown but into our city. ArtSpace, of course, is one of them, and Violet has talked to you about that already. But in the last 4 weeks, I've been able to attend 2 excellent plays in Waukegan, one at Clockwise Theater, Special Needs. That was so good I went twice. And just the other evening, I saw the Bowen Park Theater Company presentation of Sleuth at Bowen Park. Productions that could stand against anything down the line toward Chicago and even in Chicago. Local people, local actors, directors, set designers. Just a wonderful opportunity for our people to experience that kind of theater. And what I like about it is that between my house and those theaters, there are no traffic lights even. Just drive straight there. And then, of course, the mayor mentioned the upcoming art walk. Some of you may remember the genesis of the art walks back in the early 2000s when we used the raw space that were the storefronts in the Genesee Theater before the renovation. And the excitement there at that time was just incredible because it was one of the first events that had brought people actually to our downtown. And we had a number of successful art walks, but they can't hold a candle to the one that we had in March, just a few weeks ago, when, as I drove down Genesee Street, there was not a parking place to be found between Washington Street and Belvedere. And at first, I was a little ticked. This is my downtown, I can't find a parking place. And that quickly gave way to unadulterated excitement as I realized how many people were there. So the next one is on Saturday, May 14th, starting at 5 in the evening. There's going to be a variety, new galleries, new places, spaces open that were not open the last time. Concerts, live band, DJ, art shows, meet the artists, buy the art. That's one of the reasons that we do this. And it's just an exciting event, but it's one of many exciting events that are in Waukegan. And as we look forward to summer and the library courtyard concerts downtown and all kinds of outdoor events, I just want to encourage people to participate and to enjoy and to recognize what we have here. So thanks for letting me share my enthusiasm for what's happening here. Thanks.
Thank you. Next is Joyce Evans. Joyce, if you could give your address, please.
829 McAllister Waukegan, Illinois. I often give a parable about the balloon. You take a balloon in the kitchen, put it to your faucet, turn the water on slow. When that balloon gets full, it'll bust. Right now, it don't take much for me to bust. I want to know what jackass is responsible for turning those alleys into a one-way alley and why. I asked Sam, I talked to him about it, and he told me to stop the speed. It's for stopping the speeding. Okay, if that's the case, do like Evanston, Chicago, a lot of other places. They don't only have the speed bumps in the alley, they have them on their streets. Now, this going around my house 2.5 blocks every time I go home and do it maybe 20 times a week, because I go a lot, then it's taking money. I might not look like I like to eat, but I love to eat. And I'm spending more money at the gas pump going around them blocks than I am paying for my grocery. It's taking grocery off my table. Now, I want to answer why are those alleys like that and who is responsible for them. I've had enough of this. Somebody talk to me.
We don't have a two-way conversation here, so I mean, you can give them a call, though.
No, give who a call?
You could give your alderman a call.
I want to know who's responsible. He says he don't know nothing about it.
Okay, I can't. You have to look and see what committee that came out of, which would probably been judiciary.
Well, there's some alderman on this thing up here can tell me something. Tempest, can you tell me something? You're the oldest one. Do you know something?
Alderman.
I think the mayor spoke on my behalf, saying we have no comments to the audience.
Yeah, we don't do back and forth on this. I'm sorry, Joyce. I know you're.
We don't have to go back and forth, but it's taking food off my table. I want somebody to talk to me. Tell me who to talk to.
That I can't answer.
You're the mayor, and you can't tell me who to talk to?
It came out of committee. I did not handle
What committee?
It would have probably come out of either public safety or judiciary.
Okay, who's over that?
Well, you have Alderman Larson that's on public safety.
Okay.
And you have Alderman Figueroa that is on judiciary.
Okay, you guys sitting here, y'all hear me talking? Y'all can't nobody answer me?
Let's not go back and forth directly, please. Why don't you give him a call, and we'll make sure you have the numbers that you need.
Okay, well, talk to me. Talk to me. It's taking grocery off my table, and I don't act right when I get home.
Okay. All right, thank you. Very good. Thank you, Joyce. Next up, we have Violet. Were you all done? You're set. Okay. Next is Evie Hakeem.
Hello, my name is Evie Hakeem. I'm at 554 South McAllister in Waukegan. Approximately 3 weeks ago, a police surveillance camera was installed at the corner of May Street and McAllister Avenue in the First Ward in Waukegan. I live on McAllister. I've lived in the First Ward for over 22 years. The reason that I'm bringing that up is that I'm not soft on crime, and I hope that no one here believes that that's the case. The reason why I'm bringing it up, I'm a former police officer, so I did have to enforce the law, so I understand that. My concern is about the cost of installing those cameras and posting 2 police officers directly underneath the cameras who were sitting in their squad cars with the cars running, which is burning gas, for their entire shift. And then at the end of the shift, 2 more squad cars would come. So we had 24-hour camera surveillance and 24-hour police surveillance for 3 weeks prior to the election. After viewing the police beat and the April 14th Lake County News-Sun, crime that's taking place is taking place all over Waukegan. On Delaney, just in this particular news article that I read from the 14th of April, crime took place on Delaney, on Westmoreland, on North Lewis Avenue, on Grand Avenue, on Williamsburg. I believe that the First Ward is getting a bad rap. I've lived there almost my whole life, and I don't think any more crime is happening in the First Ward than any other part of the city. So I want to know, why are we spending so much of the police services in the First Ward? And how much did it cost us as citizens of Waukegan to have 2 squad cars sitting next to each other 24 hours a day for 3 weeks? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Next, we have Mr. Perry Foster.
I got a couple points. One of them is due to 2026 Kingston Road, sorry. In regards to the layoff. I mean, we talked with, I've talked with a couple of the aldermen. Alderman Mosio said he owns his, life to the fire department. And a couple weeks ago, we had a gentleman come in from Mr. Tempest's ward saying that, responded to a gentleman with a gun and also a suspicious vehicle. And if we go through with these layoffs of these gentlemen and ladies, where's it going to leave our safety? Are you guys telling us that we need to arm ourselves to protect our family and our property because you guys are cutting off the fire and the policemen and the response time? Because they have to go down. The response times have to go down if we make these cuts. And I don't understand the reasoning behind these. Is how do we keep balancing our budgets by laying off employees? We need to look at other options. We're spending how much money on the Genesee Theater? Enough already. Cut it off, shut it down, use the money for the public safety. So I'm asking the aldermen to vote no on these layoffs and to look at other options instead of making these cuts the way we want to do now. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Chris Blanks.
Brother Blanks, 409 Oak Street, Waukegan, Illinois. Mayor, I just wanted to make mention and reiterate that as an organization, we will be hosting our Poetry for the People information. This will be on 801 McAllister Avenue. That is on the 4th month, 28th day of course, this year. And that will be on a Thursday at 7 p.m. So that is extended to the public. Anybody would like to come out and support. And the theme of that is dealing with the violence in our community. It is featuring why pull the trigger issues surrounding that. Also, I wanted to make mention one of the initiatives, that we are moving forth with as an organization is, if you all can remember, during the course of the aldermanic debate, one of the aldermanic candidates came up with a very groundbreaking and good idea. Ms. Hakeem had introduced the idea of raising funds. I believe she, that was on April the 1st, she introduced the idea of going throughout the community to request $5 to get support and starting programs in the community. And we as an organization, we want to support her in that idea. And so we are looking at beginning our young entrepreneurs do for self workshops and initiatives with cities laying off, and the fact that, you know, as far as with funds that are being cut, we're looking at trying to find creative ways to put our youth to work within the community. So we're going to be supporting her. I think I noticed the following Saturday after that, I think I seen somewhere in the Waukegan News Sun, I guess the Main Street had moved, was doing something to that effect with a $5 initiative for the Cartridge Place. But what I want to say is the week before that, I want to let them know that we are going to, you know, looking forward to trying to implement this and assisting Ms. Evie to bring forth and to help put some jobs in the community and working with our youth. So I'm putting that out there on the air so that we are going to be soliciting volunteers and people to get involved to help us to be creative in creating some job opportunities, lawnmower services, cleaning gutters, or whatever we can do to help get our young people some employment and to employ themselves. Thank you for your time and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Chris. Next is Mr. Keith Turner.
Thank you, Mayor. Keith Turner, 1320 North Jackson Street, Waukegan, Illinois. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak. And there's a couple of things I want to talk about. One is the proposed ordinance affecting, excuse me, affecting gun sales in the city of Waukegan. I had an opportunity to review that ordinance, and I don't want to go into a lot of detail. I think it's a really bad idea, and I would encourage the aldermen to go and visit and talk with the Shranks. It's going to be extremely damaging to their business, and that business has been in Waukegan for about 50 years, or close to. It's going to have a significant negative impact on that business. I'd encourage you to talk with them, because we talk about, one, keeping and retaining businesses and growing businesses and bringing more in. If this ordinance passes, it's going to be another example of government regulation negatively impacting a local business that's been in Waukegan for a long time. So that's that. The other thing is, you know, I didn't expect to see so many people here tonight, but man, I gotta tell you, you know, I'm not a native Waukeganite. I've only lived here about 12 years, but of course I've always been active in the community. And it is really heartbreaking to me to see so many people here essentially asking to keep their jobs. You know, I know a lot of the police officers and a lot of the firemen. I've had personal experience with their responsiveness. You know, a few years ago, actually, Alderman Tippis and I were both run off the road and injured, and in my case, it was a police officer who responded and pulled the motorcycle off of me. And it was the fire department and paramedics that responded in less than 3 minutes. And I was bleeding severely from the head. So, you know, I really appreciate their service on a personal level, but I've also seen their responsiveness to emergencies and non-emergencies. You know, often I mentioned before, and often I'll pick up the phone and call dispatch and say, hey, there's a guy, he's all over the road, or suspicious activity over here, and then they never fail us. So one of the things that has always stood out for me since I moved to Waukegan has been our public servants, and it just devastates me to see that I understand the financial picture and what's going on, but it's devastating to me that we're in this position. And I would ask each of you to reconsider or to consider what steps you might take to protect the jobs of so many of our public servants. Today was another instance. You know, I'm a big dog lover. Most people know that. A neighbor of mine called me, and she was very upset that there was a dog outside, had been out there for several hours. No food, no shelter, in the rain. And she tried to call animal control, but they were already out taking care of business, saving some other animal. But I was able to go out, make sure the dog was safe, and then get animal control over there, and they took the dog out of an unsafe environment. And they were responsive, and this is what we've come to expect and depend on from our public workers. And I would ask you again, I know all of you personally, and I just want to ask you again, to take an opportunity to see what you can do and how you can save these jobs. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes public comment for this evening. Next, we have the minutes. I'll take a motion by Alderman Figueroa, seconded by Alderman Larson, to accept the minutes of April 18, 2011, the regular meeting and executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Minutes are accepted. Item 6, resolutions and proclamations. I had been approached by the YMCA about presenting some information to the City Council and the community to have the opportunity to appear on television and present some discussion about some of the programs they have. Is Linda here this evening? Sure. Hi, Linda. Come on up. Good, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Well, I'll be brief because I do know when I looked at the agenda, I went, oh, a little busy tonight. But I'm going to choose to focus on the good because I think it's Monday, it's gloomy, we're all waiting for spring, and I think it's really important that we think about the good that's in the community. And I want to talk about, from the Y's perspective, kind of who we are. Many of you have heard of the YMCA, you know, YMCA, right? Well, I think that we're very different than what I think a lot of people might think about the Y. We're not just about gym and swim. The YMCA is really about strengthening our community. And so the other piece I want to talk about is that we're not here asking for money, mayor or city council. What we're really here is saying we're here to help. We're here to help strengthen the community. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Y, we are a not-for-profit, cause-driven organization. We offer a large variety of programs. We have child care programs and services. We have before and after school programs. We have youth sports programs, youth mentoring programs. We offer a variety of health and well-being programs. I mean, if you really wanted to just quickly in a nutshell talk about what is the Y, we're really about 3 big things. We're about youth development, we're about healthy living, and we're about social responsibility. We serve all of Lake County. Some of you might be familiar with where our facilities are. We have a large facility here in Waukegan. We have a big early Head Start program just around the street. And we also have another facility located in central Lake County. However, we serve all of Lake County with our programs and services. One of the biggest things I think that sets us apart from a lot of the other organizations is that, as I mentioned to you before, we are a not-for-profit, we are cause-driven, and what that means is we don't turn anybody away. We have a large program where we offer financial assistance, and we know, particularly in this day and age, in this economy, and what we're all struggling with, how important that is in terms of offering both our kids and our families a safe place to be. So I welcome all of you to reintroduce yourself to the Y. You might see some things over the next couple of months about the Y. We've undertaken a new branding initiative and really trying to get the word out about really who we are and what role we play in the community. We have a couple of events coming up. Besides, we welcome any of you to drop by any of our facilities at any time, take a tour, introduce yourselves to our staff, and find out what we have to offer. But we have a large community celebration that's coming up May 21st, which is going to be at Flatlanders Brewery. It's really a celebration of all we are to the community and our annual fundraiser. We're hosting a networking event April 21st at our Waukegan facility, which is at 2000 Western Avenue, so we invite you all to attend that as well. More importantly, please give us a call, stop by. You can get more information about what services we provide at our website, which is ymcalakecounty.org. And I know some of you are really familiar with the Y and appreciate all the support you've given us over the years. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Next up, we have committee reports and motions. First up is the Public Works Committee report. Alderman Rivera, Chair.
Thank you. Excuse me, bear with me, I'm kind of under the weather. Public Works Committee report, item A, grant permission to award the annual materials bids for Public Works, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. This would be a roll call. Yeah. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman Tempest. Alderman Needham. Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it.
Item B, grant permission to extend mosquito abatement contract, and I so move.
A motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Well, what's the cost going to be on that, do we know?
Alderman Tempest.
The cost on
It
that?
hasn't,
Oh,
it's still, Tom, it's still the same, right?
yeah, it's the same.
30,000. How much is it?
64,000.
Hasn't changed from last year, Larry.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Alderman
Great.
Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham. Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it.
Item C, grant permission to participate in the county auction, and I so move.
We have a motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
It's
And this involves all the police, whatever, Public Works, whatever stuff we can bring to the auction. That money will go towards the general fund, Larry.
As chairman, did you look at it?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you want me to read the whole thing, I will.
No, if you checked it out.
Yeah, it's a voice vote. Got it. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item D, grant permission to award the low bid for water meters for fiscal year 11-12, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Who's that to? Is that to which
I
company?
believe it's Badger.
Badger this
Yes.
time? Okay.
163,225.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Item E, grant permission to award the water plant chemical bids, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham. Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Item F, grant permission to award the copper horns bids, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham. Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it.
Item G, grant permission to award the fire hydrant bids, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham. Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it.
Item H, Corporation Council. We've asked them to draft and adopt a street ordinance. I don't know if everyone, does everyone have the ordinance up here?
Which one is it?
That's an ordinance to actually, it's to draft.
To draft?
Well, it's not up here, it's to
They
draft.
wouldn't have the ordinance.
We got it out of council. What it is, it's about people having their own street. They can do some cleaning. You know, the city would be supplying them with,
Adopt a highway, right, Ralph?
yeah, it's just sort of like an
Yeah,
adopt a
adopt a
highway.
highway.
If they need gloves or anything like that,
Yeah.
you know, they can just contact Public Works. Somebody can go pick them up.
Yeah.
And it's really just to kind of keep the neighborhoods in nice shape. And this is an opportunity to do so with this adopt a street ordinance.
Yeah. It
Sort of
sets
like
up
an adopted-
procedures and things of how to
And
go
that's
through that
just to
process.
draft an ordinance.
Yeah. Okay.
And I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item I, grant permission to accept the proposal for the lakefront environmental containment cell operation and maintenance services. And all of you know what this is about, the consent decree bylaw that we're required to maintain these containment cells of PCBs. And I believe it's what, slip 3 and the OMC site. So, and I so move.
Alderman
I'd
Tempest.
like to question this.
Sure.
I don't have it in my folder. Is this to make the new one that with the Port Authority
No.
wanted?
It has nothing to do with
just
that. This
make-
is
No.
pre-existing.
Okay, thank you.
This is
I know where
pre-existing
it's slip
consent
3.
decree.
You have to keep the
Alderman.
water pressure at each side, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
And I so move. That's all right.
All right, we have the motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham. Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it.
Item J, grant permission to accept the final acceptance of public improvements for the Carter Woods subdivision, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it.
Item K, grant permission to accept the final acceptance of public improvements for Carter Crossing Unit 1 subdivision, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham. Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it.
Item L, grant permission to accept the final acceptance of public improvements for the Carter Crossing Unit 2 subdivision, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham. Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it.
Item M, grant permission to accept the proposed amendment number 2 for sewage disposal, Lake County Public Works, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it.
Item N, accept the low qualified bidder for the uniform contract from Lechner and Sons in Mount Prospect, Illinois, and an annual cost not to exceed $30,000 per year, which is pretty good cost savings. And I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes
That
have it.
concludes the committee reports.
Next is Finance Committee. Alderman Needham.
Thank you, Your Honor. Finance Committee met Monday, April 11th. We had 2 new items. Item A, to approve the write-off of bad debt of $50,109.60 in uncollectible penalties and past due accounts. Finance Committee recommends, and I so move, the Collector's Office request permission to write off bad debt of $50,109.60 in uncollectible penalties and past due accounts. And I so move. And FYI, everyone has a packet of the scofflaws of the people that, and businesses that have not paid. It does not mean we will not continue to go after them, but they're at the point now where we need to get them off the books. But we will continue to keep them in the collection cycle.
We have the motion by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Tempest. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it.
Item B, our second last item, contracted Advantage Parking Incorporated for parking attendant services from May 1st, 2011 through April 30th, 2012, an amount not to exceed $39,200. Finance Committee recommends, and I so move, that the City Council award a contract to Advantage Valet Parking Incorporated for parking attendant services from May 1st, 2011 through April 30th, 2012, an amount not to exceed $39,200. And I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Tempest. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest. Aye. Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson. Aye. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Your Honor, I have a question. What valet are they doing?
I'm sorry.
That's the name of the company.
That's the name of the company.
I mean, who are they valeting for?
They're not.
It's for the theater.
They're not valet parking. Clerk Motley, you can better description.
It's for the lakefront beach this summer.
Oh, it's for that.
And it's for the theater and the parking garage.
They'll be manning the gate down at the lakefront certain days of the week, collecting the fees.
Okay, and obviously I wasn't at Finance Committee, but the fees that we collect, do they super exceed the amount of money that we're paying them?
Yeah.
Do we know how many fees were collected last year?
Something like that. I don't know. Ask Tina.
Tina, do we have the numbers on that? But it's pretty close to a break even.
Their recommendation
No.
came from Motley. Motley should know.
This includes the garage, which is new.
Oh, the garage part.
The beach revenue, parking revenue far exceeded. This is as a result of having to lay off beach laborers.
Right.
So we don't have the staff to do that anymore.
So this is part of this part-time people that we would have normally hired to do this?
Yes.
And are they from Waukegan at all, these valet parking people?
Yes, they're Waukegan people. The company's out of Chicago, but all the people who work for them are local people.
Is that in the contract?
Dean, I believe you signed a contract with them. Well, we haven't done it yet, but we have a contract with them.
Yeah, is that part of the contract where they should be Waukegan? I mean, you're probably talking about $10, $12 an hour, 3 or 4 hours a day. Why not give it to some Waukegan folks who?
They are Waukegan. He hires Waukegan.
I would like to see that in the contract. They are from Chicago, which probably they're about the only ones who really does this type of work. We really don't have any ones around here. But the people they hire should be, some of us. In my opinion, now that's my opinion.
Alderman, we've used this company for the past 5 years at the theater, so they are Waukegan people. They just expanded their role to incorporate the beach this year.
Now, a question for the fee that they charge for valet, does that come to us or does that go to them?
That comes to us, and they get paid $15 an hour, and we made, last time we used the valet service, we made almost $6,000.
Okay. Well, Clerk Motley, can you make sure, obviously these are short-time jobs, they come small, but hey, anything is something nowadays. It'll be nice to see some faces from Waukegan doing this particular work.
Excuse me, sir. Okay. Sam.
Thank you. Those are my comments.
You set?
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions?
I vote aye for that.
It's a one-year contract,
Yeah,
correct?
it's a one-year
We
contract.
can review it after 1 year, see how it works.
Alderman Conken. Aye. Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
That is all. That's all, Your Honor.
That it finishes Finance Committee. Next is Labor Relations. Item A, which was the appointment of new police commander, Irvin Grimes. Take a motion to approve by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Moiseo. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
I'm going to vote aye, but again, I'm concerned with our salary ordinance. Our ordinance. We haven't even, looked at all the salaries yet. I wasn't able to make the Labor Relations meeting in regards to this, but again, I don't want to put the cart in front of the horses here, but again, you know, like I said, if it's somebody that's doing a great job, I'll vote aye. But again, I just don't feel, are we putting the cart in front of the horse here? So I'll vote aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Ayes have it. Item B, which is to approve the change to the salary ordinance, which includes having now Commander Grimes moving up in rank to his salary, as well as creating the position of the Genesee Theater liaison. And again, this can be revisited. So it would not do any harm to move it forward and then to be able to come back to it at a later time. Do we have a motion by Alderman Rivera?
No, I don't want.
Okay, motion by Alderman Moiseo.
I think maybe we need to explain it in the Labor Relations meeting. That theater coordinator is just put in there in
It's
case.
a placeholder.
It would maybe not be filled, in my opinion. I don't think it should be, but the only other question, I think some of the aldermen have some questions on some other parts of this salary ordinance. I don't know if they've had a chance to look at it.
Yeah, I know I haven't, Your Honor, and typically, in my past experience with these salary ordinance, we say one thing and there are other things underneath the salary ordinance that has not been clearly explained to aldermen or haven't come out. So until, I don't know, do we have a salary ordinance in front of us? If we do, I haven't gone through it, and I like to go through it, so I'm moving to hold this salary ordinance over.
Okay,
Until
we
I
have
an
a request to hold it over by Alderman.
Could I make a few comments?
Yeah, but it's held over now
sorry.
because of his request. But please, go ahead and make your comments. Please, Alderman.
I attended the meeting. My concerns, I think we ought to look at it. Our new personnel director went through the ordinance, made some good changes in it, really did a nice job. However, he also brought up that a kid could go to college and there was no limit of how much we would pay. And he wanted to put a limit of $5,250 a year for furthering your education as a city employee. I have problems with that when you go on to a master's degree. I figure if you want to get a master's degree, the city should pay for it. I'm sorry. I paid for mine. I don't know why I should pay for somebody to go get a master's degree. And some years back, quite a few years back, we stopped that policy of paying for a master's degree. We said no. If it's related to a job, the supervisor says, yes, this course will benefit, fine. But to get into a master's program and pay for a master's program on the city's back, I'm not for it. I'm not for it. I'm sorry. If you want to reduce the amount of money per year, that's what the Fed say. $5,250 per year is a max, the max that you can give an employee for education per year. I would like to see that number reduced some. I don't know if I'm willing to go that far. I really mean that. A master's degree on the city. We had a guy once, he's across the street now, he got his doctorate on the city of Waukegan before I spoke up and said, no more master's degree. And we had an assistant fire chief that was going to go for his master's on the city's time. And we told him, no, we cut that policy out some years ago. And I would like the alderman to consider that while it's being held over and think about it and see what your thoughts are on it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Education's great. Where would I be today without it? But, you know, I work for mine. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Nope, then that is held over to the next meeting. Yeah. It just stays on the table. Well, yeah, as explained, the items under 8, under old business, all 3 of these items were tabled. And unless we have a motion to bring them off the table for action, then they don't come before us for action tonight.
Right. Well,
sure.
Well, this isn't my committee, obviously, and we've already had several meetings on it. And yes, these are the 3 items that we kept on holding over to give an opportunity to the rest of the aldermen so they can read and read upon the information. I hope everyone here has the ordinance. Alderman Tempest, do you have the ordinance?
It might be in my file, but I don't have it in front of me.
How about the rest of the aldermen? Because if not, I can hold it over again, but if not, I'd like to bring this up for a vote and take it out of the,
We have a motion by Alderman Rivera to bring from the table to the City Council for action. Do we have a second? We have the second by Alderman Needham to return these items to the agenda this evening for action then, so we will begin to move forward on it. Then I'll take item under old business, item A. Alderman Rivera, since these are out of your committee, why don't you address them?
all right. Item A, adopt an ordinance regarding certain water and sewage fees as presented. We didn't change that, Your Honor. We kept it the same. I know they wanted to change the dollar amounts to gallon usage. We kept it the same. Right now, on an average, you know, families use about 11 to 12,000 gallons a month. You know, I know some people might use more, but we kept it at the same rate, which is $2.28 per, 1,000 gallons. And I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Rivera. We have a second by Alderman Cunningham.
No, Your Honor.
No second by Alderman Cunningham. Do we have a second on item A? We have a second by Alderman Needham. Roll call, please.
Roll call to bring it back, or?
No.
No, it's already back. All three items are back before us, yeah.
Alderman Tempest.
No.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
No.
Alderman Conken.
No.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
No.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item B, Alderman Rivera.
Item B, adopt an ordinance regarding rates for collection of garbage, yard waste, and recyclable materials as presented. I believe this is for the amount of $15. $15 a quarter, per quarter. And it was $62, and that's what was proposed, but it's not going to be $62. We thought that was,
Your Honor?
way too much.
Yes, Alderman Moiseo. I'm sorry, Alderman.
Alderman Rivera, I have a question. That's the $15 a quarter. Now, what is C? Because C is awful. It's redundant. It explains the same thing.
Garbage, excuse me, C is the, brush.
That's just the leaf, that's the leaf pickup fee.
Exactly.
But the B is the $15 a quarter, correct? Okay, thank you.
Okay. So we have the motion by Alderman Rivera.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Do we have a second? Second by Alderman Needham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Yes, Alderman Cunningham.
I don't know. Is it on the floor yet? Because I still have a lot of hanging questions regarding our budget.
It is actually on the floor at this point, Alderman.
Well, I want to move to hold it over.
Can't.
Yeah, I mean, we...
Come off the table.
Yes, it can.
It's been held over once.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, Your Honor, if I'm not mistaken...
Hold on a second, Alderman.
Okay.
It's been held over once, and it was tabled.
Right.
So it's come off the table. I don't think it can be held over again.
Well, then we...
But point of order.
Yes, Alderman.
If you're going to have an ordinance, I would have known the first one. I don't have it here in front of me. If you're going to bring it up table, it ought to be in our folder here. We ought to be able to look through it once again before we vote on it. You're asking this council to vote on an ordinance. You don't know if some changes have been made. You don't know what's here. It's not in front of you. Oh, you have it there, but it's not here, Ann.
We have.
And could I ask a question? Just a moment. Could I ask a question of all the people up here? Who did not receive a copy of this?
Oh, I've had it at one time.
Everybody has received a copy of it.
I think all of us have received a copy, Your Honor, but there's been several changes and discussions regarding this, so I think that's what it is.
Has a copy been given to the alderman following the last time it was in committee?
Would you
Okay.
please read it? Could we please read the ordinance then? I'd ask that the ordinance be read.
Please, Ann, if you would.
It's actually quite brief, so it won't take any time at all to explain what the Public Works Committee recommendation was.
I know what I'm voting.
The recommendation, as Alderman Rivera said, is for a $15 per quarter charge. This is for the Veolia garbage pickup contract. And there is a sunset provision that the Public Works Committee also recommended, which sunsets or rolls back that $15 quarterly fee on July 1st of 2013 to the $5 fee, which is the current quarterly fee. That is the recommendation of the Public Works Committee that's on the table now.
Could you read the options that we were voting on, so the Alderman?
The original ordinance that was provided was for a full cost recovery for the garbage contract, which would have been $62.50 per quarter. There is currently the $5 fee per quarter that was voted on a couple of years ago that was passed by the City Council. The original proposal that came before you in January was for $62.50. It was debated quite a lot in Public Works Committee, and ultimately the recommendation that came out was for the $15 per quarter with the sunset provision in July of 2013, rolling back to $5.
And that's,
Alderman Tempest.
thank you. So we're all clear. This is just for garbage? This is yard waste, recycles?
It's for whatever Veolia picks up. They do pick up yard waste if you have it in the bag, and the garbage. The item C that Alderman Moisio asked about is the city's program where we do in the fall, Public Works does leaf and brush pickup. That is not a part of this proposed ordinance. This is the contract for garbage pickup, and some of that would include leaf and brush, but it's the Veolia contract.
Alderman Rivera.
In referring to item C, it would cost the city about $500,000 to do this brush pickup.
That's item C, which is not being debated at the moment, right. B is for the Veolia contract.
Alderman Tempest, did you have another question?
This has nothing to do with when we put our bags of leaves at the curb?
Yes.
If you put your bag of leaves at the curb on garbage day for the pickup by Veolia, then yes, that is included. Right.
Item C is confusing.
Item C is the separate city leaf and brush pickup program, which is provided by Public Works in the fall, where residents can push their leaves to the parkway and have it removed. That is a separate proposal entirely, separate amount. All that is before you right now is the $15 per quarter charge with the sunset provision for the garbage.
And how is this going to be handled with vacant houses?
They don't take that.
Right. If there's a water, this will be added to the water bill. So if there is a water bill, this fee will be added.
And if they're not paying it, they're not paying anything.
And right, and yeah, so
That's why we got to go to every month,
Well,
every
you
two.
know, for
Well, and that's what we have to look at. Yeah, Alderman
For
Rivera.
vacant housing, Larry, you know, if the bank is handling it, I mean, they're responsible for that. And that's
Yeah.
where our code compliance handles all of that.
yeah.
And they may not have water, but they would still have, and it'd still be some form of the charge for the garbage pickup.
Right.
So, because they may have some cutting the lawn, and might leave the clippings, you know, in bags there, they may not, but it's still charged.
So,
Alderman Cunningham?
Yes, sir.
The item C refers only to, when we say brush, there's a clear definition of brush. That means the little trees that people cut down, the leaves they put on their parkway. The city, to pick those up, there's going to be now a charge for that, correct?
That's the proposal in item C.
That's the proposal, so the
Leaf
brush.
and brush pickup by the city's Public Works Department.
So
Could I ask just for a moment, please, if you could? Let's go to that question, Alderman Cunningham, when we address item C.
Well, I think we're addressing them all.
On the table before you right now is item B.
It's item B. And then we could have clarification, but I think it's been made very clear up to this point, and if anybody, if it hasn't been, say, you know, please raise your hand, that item B has to do with what Veolia picks up.
Correct.
That's correct.
So that we understand that. That's a whole separate issue than what our crews pick up.
And just to be clear on this, we're doing this because of the shortfall of the budget. Is that correct?
Right now, the city of Waukegan charges its residents on the water bill $5 per quarter, which covers a small amount of the contract that the city pays to Veolia, some $5 million per year. This increase in the amount that's charged to residents on the water bill would triple the amount that goes into the city coffers to offset the $5 million per year contract price that is paid by the city to Veolia.
No, I guess maybe I wasn't clear. The reason we're doing this, as opposed to wasn't doing this in the past, is because of the shortfall of the budget. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
That's correct.
Okay, but
thank you, Mayor. I think everybody in this room should also realize that when I came into office, one of the first calls that I got was from Veolia, telling me that if we didn't bring them $1 million, they were going to cut the city of Waukegan off from garbage pickup.
And Mayor,
so
again,
just you understand that we need to be able to at least try to recapture as much as possible.
This is not. This is.
Hold on, one at a time. Alderman Cunningham. And
Your Honor.
Yes.
I think you made a statement that when you came into office. Again, I'm not accusing you or telling you what the reason. I'm just asking: is this the reason? Is this the reason we're doing it because of the budget shortfall? That's the question. I want. If that's your answer is yes.
Right now,
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Right now, yes. One moment. Alderman Rivera, then Alderman Moiseo.
And you were mentioning the money, you know, it's what it's cost of $5 million a year.
Yes.
5.1 million.
5.1 million.
5.1 million. How much, with this new ordinance, how much more are we going to go over?
1.2 is what we'll bring it up to.
And if we do, does that go into the general fund?
Of course it does.
Yes.
And can we use that? That can be used to save jobs.
That's all accounted for, if that's going to be in there. I mean, we have planned for that.
Even if it's over one, even if it's over.
Oh, if it goes over the amount?
With Veolia?
Well, obviously, then when the time comes, if we have it collected, we'll use it. If you want to save jobs with it, it's your call.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what.
But we haven't collected it yet.
That's the goal of every alderman up here.
We don't have the money yet. Alderman Moiseo.
I have a question for Tom Haggerty. Is Tom still here?
He's in the back.
Veolia's cost went up, right?
Yes, it did, about $300,000 this year.
Thank you.
So it's eating a lot of what we're picking up. Do we have any further questions on it? No, thank you, Ann. Appreciate it. We're moving forward with item B. We have the motion. Alderman Rivera, are you willing to make the motion on this one? Okay. Okay, I didn't hear. I don't remember if you had said it or not during the discussion. We have a second by Alderman Needham. Okay. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest. Aye. Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson. Aye. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
No.
Alderman Conken.
No.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
No.
What's your count?
It's 6-3.
Item C.
Ayes have it. Ayes have it.
Okay,
Thank you.
very well. Item C, adopt an ordinance regarding rates for residential collection of garbage, yard waste, and recyclable materials, and to add a charge for curbside leaf and brush pickup as presented. And it's going to be $7.25 per quarter. All right? Now, it costs the city, this is in regards to the brush that's tied up, trees that are cut up, leaves that need to be picked up that aren't bagged. And currently it costs, what did it cost us last year, Tom? $550,000. Labor and materials. And this is something that was, for years, was free. But it's cost effective. There was a lot of debate in committee in regards to this, because we had a choice of not having it at all. Okay. Or doing it. So most of the aldermen didn't want to see that service go. So we decided to keep it at that rate, $7.25 per quarter. And I so move. If anyone else has any questions.
Alderman Conken.
I have a problem with this one. First off, you say it's going to go on the water bill. It's going to be $7.25 per quarter. What about the houses that don't bother to rake or have leaves to rake to the front yard? So there's people paying for something for a service they're not getting. That's number one. Number two, I don't understand how the city is saving money. The people that were working on the brush and leaf pickup are still working for the city. It's costing the city the same amount of money to keep these people employed. They're just doing other tasks. But saving money, I don't see the savings. If it costs $500,000 for those people to work for 3 weeks, it still costs $500,000 for those people to work for 3 weeks. We're not saving anything. They're just doing other tasks. They might be filling in potholes, they might be trimming trees, they might be doing whatever. Just because they're not doing leaf pickup doesn't mean they're not getting paid. So I don't understand where the $500,000 savings is. I'm sorry, I don't see it.
Your Honor?
Thank you. Yes, Alderman Rivera.
If I make a comment, I was the one that really didn't want to have this done. Am I right, correct, Tom? I really didn't want it, to be honest with you. So you have the opportunity to vote no for it.
It's here.
And it's up for a vote. But I did get a lot of calls, people that, wanted this service to continue. What about them?
I got you.
So, and as far as people not wanting to take care of their properties, that's a problem we have in this town. You go around this town, people don't even care about their properties, not even pick up leaves and people, well, I mean,
please.
Government is not free. Yeah, no, I know. Government is not free. I mean, there's labor costs that we have to put out there in order to do this. I didn't want it. I told Tom, put the men doing some other work. Put the men doing some other work. But the aldermen that were on this committee didn't want it. Didn't want it. Now they're up here discussing it. So my say to you is vote no, if you don't want it.
Okay, Alderman Tempest and then Alderman Needham.
Thank you, Your Honor. The contract with Veolia right now says if you have you can cut your branches into 4-foot bundles.
Tie it up.
And so high, tie them up, and they take them. They take them. If you have a commercial tree person come to take down your tree, they by ordinance are supposed to haul them away. But we have a two-tier system here. You just say you took it down yourself, and the city will haul it away for you. We have that problem adjusted out in the community. So I can see the difference, but for us to go ahead and put this on there, as they cut your branches up into 4-foot size, tie them up with twine, and Veolia will have to fulfill their contract. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Tempest. Alderman Needham, and then Alderman Rivera again.
My question is, if this isn't passed, does that mean we stop the leaf pickup program in the brush?
Yes.
Is that discontinued? We're done doing that?
Yes.
So then the burden will fall on people bagging and cutting up branches for Veolia to pick up.
And that's all they have to do anyway. If they want, like Alderman Tempest was saying, if they want to tie it up, as long as they got it tied up in a bundle, Veolia will pick it up. Our problem is a lot of the landscaping companies, sometimes they don't, most of them do, pick up their own brush and whatever, but, a lot of them don't, and they leave it out there in the front, not tied. The homeowner, if they knew what the ordinance was to tie it up, then they'll be able to pick it up. But most of the citizens of Waukegan, they just, and all you got to do is just look in our website. We have the ordinance there on our website. So,
Your Honor.
Alderman Needham again.
If this doesn't pass, we better do a heck of a job on a PR campaign, because people are not going to know. And in my ward, for one, with the mature trees, and there's,
right,
just not my ward, but there's other ones out there that people rely heavily on this.
No, absolutely. There would be a marketing campaign on this if we're not doing it. That's for sure. I think Alderman Conklin.
Alderman Conklin.
If I'm not mistaken, this has got nothing to do with stopping the program. This just says, are we going to charge for it or not? It doesn't say anything about stopping the program.
Well, it funds it, because we did do an analysis of what the cost was.
But that wasn't in the ordinance that we discussed, and it's not here. This is simply to ask whether we're going to put a charge on it or not.
Which
I don't remember us ever talking about stopping this program. I know some people wanted to stop it, but this has nothing, absolutely nothing but discontinue the brush and leaf pickup or the leaf season, whatever, what we're doing, I think was that leaf thing, has nothing to do. So that's not a scare tactic. Let's not scare the public that we're going to stop this. From this alderman standpoint, it's not. It's a service that we provide. Now, if we're going to charge for the service, charge for the service. Just say we need to charge for the service and move on. But don't scare these folks talking about we're going to stop brush pickup. And I really commend Alderman Needham. I mean, he has probably the worst ward for those trees. So that would really affect his ward more than anybody. The problem that I really have is in some of our, particularly in my ward, where you have less homeowners and more renters and outside owners of properties who are not willing to, beautify their yards and do the things necessary to put that brush on the parkway. You're relying on others to do that. That becomes a critical issue in my area. So when we're making decisions, we have to think about the entire Waukegan, not just portions of it. So, and that's one of the biggest reasons I'm opposed of this. I oppose of this $7. So if you add $7.25 plus what you're doing, we just $15. Is that what it is? $15? So 15, 7, 15 and 7. What is that? 24? Am I right? 22. I'm bad. My bad. So that's $22 technically to Viola.
4 times a year.
4 times a year.
That's going onto your water bill.
That's going onto your water bill.
$90.
But we just broke it up into 2 separate ordinances. So Viola, to offset their costs, now you said the $15 triples. If you add this, it means it's 100, 150%, 200% increase to Viola to offset their costs. If that's what we choose to do, then that's what we need to do in order to better. But my question still remains, is it because we need to offset the budget? Yes or no?
No, I think we're discussing this to offset what it costs us to pick up.
So it has nothing to do with the budget?
That's in leaves.
Tina, does this have anything to do with the budget,
Alderman,
yes or no?
Alderman, if you want to amend the amount of no charge, you have that right to as well.
Right.
Well, I'm going to be very clear. I'm voting no anyway, so amend it or not. I'm just saying, I just need to know this question. Does it have anything to do with offsetting the budget? Yes or no?
No. Can you explain what you mean by that, Sam? Because I'm a little concerned about the fact that here's the problem that we have. I think everybody's forgetting that we got into a position in December where we had a great deal of amount of money that was taken out of our budget because the levy wasn't raised. And as a result of that, we are trying to find ways of being able to continue to provide services, which by providing services you keep people employed to help fill that gap. Now, when the $10 million was lost, that was a huge impact on services which, of course, are related to employees. So that's why we're here. That's why we're discussing this. We're trying to fill the gap. We're trying to plug the hole. Without it, it does impact our ability to have personnel. It certainly does. This is all part of it. You can't separate the two.
I agree.
So the question is, do we, and again, I think it's down to, we're about here where we need to start thinking about calling the question just to have a plain vote. If you're not going to offer an amendment to either zero it out or reduce it to an amount that you're comfortable with, then it would be nice if we could just put this out and have it vote up or down.
And I agree, but I do understand what the aldermen are saying in regards to, this wasn't presented. We're not putting fear. First of all, we're not putting fear.
No, it's not. It's not.
We want to give people service that they deserve. Don't get me wrong. So it just comes now. The bottom line is, if you want to amend it to a zero price, so be it. Do you want to go lower? It's entirely up to the council.
It is. So we are here. If you say that you want it to be $1 or $7 or whatever it ends up being, that's what we will charge. So I'm asking, I think at this point, though, what would you feel comfortable with, Alderman?
Well, then, Your Honor, if you're asking me to change this, if you're asking us to change it, and there is an option to make different number amounts.
There's always is.
Okay, if there is, I believe in, if there's a cost to this, that's the stress point here. There's a cost related to doing these services.
Right.
We agree to that. All right. Then if the cost is $5 million or $10 million, whatever the cost may be, what is the break-even point so we can have that in front of us? Is it $7 the break-even point? Is $10 the break-even point? Is $3 the break-even point? You're giving me a number that it's, you know, and I speak. When I speak to people that I represent in my ward. The income per capita is far below the rest of the cities in the county. So I must be a little bit more passionate about this, because every dime penny affects people in my ward. That's just the way it is. I understand that. But if there's a cost of doing business, which we all understand, then give me the drop dead cost. But don't throw me a number of $10, $20 and say that's what it's going to be. Then start saying if we might not offer the service, we're going to get the service. Believe me, we're going to get the service. I think the people in the city of Waukegan, the employees particularly, will do their jobs and do it well. I am confident with that. We just need to give them directions on what to do. That's what we need to do. So if the drop dead number is 7, Mayor, that I need to make up my mind tonight, I'm going to vote for it, I'm not going to vote for it. But if the drop dead number is 5, then it's 5. What is a drop dead number for me?
Mayor, can I have Tina come up?
Alderman Rivera.
Can I have Tina?
I'm sorry to pull you into this, but give him the best answer that you possibly can. It has to do with covering what the true cost of the service is.
And I agree with that. I have no problems with that.
Tina, please.
On this particular ordinance, we did not assume that this ordinance would go into effect in the budget proposal, and as a result, there's workforce reductions in the budget. If this ordinance were to pass, it would generate about $500,000 in revenues that's not currently in the budget proposal, and that could go back into funding positions that are currently slated to be cut.
So we can use the excess money
There is
to
no
make
excess.
sure we keep, I'm sorry?
There is no excess money, so to speak.
Well,
I mean, this is the cost of the program, so this would be a cost recovery initiative. Similar to the Veolia, $62.50 would have generated $5.1 million, which would have fully funded the cost of that contract.
so then we could have used those monies that we would have used to pay Veolia to help offset, to help with saving positions. Is that true?
I'm not sure how to answer that question.
Well, wait. I think part of it is that what we're saying is, and what we're saying to you as residents and up here to the council, this is the true cost of the service. Okay. This is what it really costs the city to be able to have your garbage picked up. We have been underwriting the cost of your garbage pickup, those of you that live in Waukegan, for a long time. Anybody, the gentleman, could I see the hand of the gentleman from Beach Park who spoke earlier? $85 a quarter, right?
You want me to be truthful about that? My wife takes care of it.
It's $85 a quarter. So you can see that other communities have taken this into hand and have put forth a cost that actually covers the full service. That's what we were talking about in all instances, was covering the cost of the true service. And a lot of people, well, no, I'm not going to say it. Alderman Conkin. Please,
Mayor,
sir.
Are the taxes comparable in Beach Park to Waukegan? Because the taxes that the people of Waukegan have paid for that Veolia contract, and that was always included in the taxes. Now, I know, like I've said it before, I know there's not a line item for garbage pickup. But some people live in this city expecting their garbage to be picked up and paid for by their taxes. And and now what we're doing is we're throwing another chunk of change on top of everybody in there. It's an additional tax. You can hide it and call it a fee. You can call it whatever you want, but it's a tax.
Well, Alderman, hold on, please. Before you get engaged in that, now think about it for a moment. Our situation was when the levy was not passed because of the fact that the value of the homes in Waukegan had been going down. That changed everything. It changed the whole parameter of the relationship between true cost versus service. Now, I have to say that I have heard continuously a demand from people that they don't want to lose their services, right? Nobody wants to have their leaves not picked up. Nobody wants to have to pay more for garbage. But nobody wanted to pay more for taxes. Am I correct? That's how we all felt. So how is it then, as an organization, are we going to answer the very fundamental question of providing you with the same level of services with such a large chunk of money that we don't have coming in anymore? That's what happened. That's very simply what happened. We got caught in a situation that we had no control over other than to raise the taxes on people's homes. And from my understanding, the aldermen up here heard from their constituents, and their constituents said, I don't want that. But, again, you can't squeeze in one area and not expect it to pop out in another. That's what happens. So if we don't have the same amount of revenue coming in, which is a simple fact of the situation, then we can't afford to cover the cost of all the services that we used to provide either. It's very simple. You have it coming in or you don't. This is the cost that we have going out. And if this can't cover this, then we have to scramble to make it up. That's what this whole thing has been about. Trying to find a way that nobody is happy with to plug that deficit. As it is, we still had to take, Tina, was it $3 million, 3.2 million, 3.4 million out of the water fund? $3.4 million came from our water fund. You know what that means? That means that we have less money for water mains. You know, this city still has some of its infrastructure, water infrastructure, made out of wood. The city has been taking money out of the water fund for years to plug deficits. And now we're in a position here where we've taken it out, and we still have a gap, and we're trying to fill that gap because I recognize that everybody wants to keep their services at the same level. But unfortunately, it's like when you get and you balance your checkbook. If you didn't get the amount of money that you normally had coming in, you have to change something. Either you have to make more money or you have to cut back. That's the decisions that we were left with. That's the plate that we were handed. And so when I asked staff to begin to analyze what areas that we could raise fees and what areas were not what we would consider core heart missions of the city, meaning that they weren't part of code enforcement, police, or fire, or public works, leaf pickup is not as important as making sure that you have your streets plowed and salt put down. They don't equate, nor police or fire. But you still want it, right? You still want it. And the aldermen are demanding on your behalf that you still have it, maybe for free. So where do we go? I mean, honestly, I can tell you we didn't start this a month ago. We have been working on this problem ever since before December, when we knew what the problem was. And we knew where the vote was probably going to end up going. Because we had heard our aldermen telling us, we're not going to raise the levy because my people in my ward don't want it. But conveniently left out of that equation was the fact that we were going to be left with less money and that we were going to have to make some hard decisions about what we could provide you with less money.
Ron?
Alderman Conkin, please.
Just a comment on your last comment.
Yes, sir.
When we took the vote in December, I remember clearly you stated a no vote would give us the same budget this year as we had last year.
That's not correct.
That is absolutely correct.
That is not correct, Alderman.
Yes,
that
it
is
is.
Absolutely incorrect.
The alderman up here voted,
sir.
Excuse me, sir, I have the floor.
Okay, but I will answer.
You can't answer it. We were told, and we were given the impression, that we would have the same budget, all our departments would have the same budget when we issued the no tax increase, no tax levy increase. And last year we had 19 million for the city. This year we only have 15.7. So we don't have the same budget, and that's what I voted on last year, is to have the same budget as this year. and there's the $3 million or $4 million shortfall. And I just want to know why.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's explain that. I never said that. Let me tell you what the options were that were put before the City Council and were made public. We had 3 options. Number 1 option was a zero deficit option. It showed what the true cost of all of our services and maintaining all of our personnel at their current levels was. That was the option that nobody wanted, because it would have driven up your property taxes to an amount that people were not comfortable accepting. The second option was the option that would have maintained the amount of money that they had last year minus 5%. The third option was the option of no levy increase, with approximately a $10 million hole punched in the budget, and that was presented over and over again in the public meeting as well as the meetings that you had with our finance department, which were multiple, and we were open constantly to having not only aldermen but employees come in and have things explained to them. We never held back one word of information from anybody. Now, I don't know how you interpreted it, Alderman Conkin. I can't speak to that, sir. But I will tell you that the record states very clearly what we told you and what we said in public, as I just reiterated.
Well, Your Honor, if I may,
Alderman Cunningham?
If I may, Your Honor.
Please.
Looking at our 2009 tax levy amounts.
What year, sir?
2009 tax levy amounts versus our 2010 tax levy amounts. And according to the document that was issued to the county clerk, the 2009 was a $19 million levy, which included the general fund, a corporate fund, public library fund, pension for fire and police. In 2010, that amount was 15.7, roughly. These are roughly amounts, of course. So I think that's where some confusion is coming. That leaves us a negative 3.3 in that exact levy amount from 2009 to 2010. So that's kind of where I think there is some confusion coming in as to if we said the same thing in 2009 should have been the same thing in 2010, why is there a $3.3 million difference?
If what we were levying had stayed the same in value, it would probably have been close to a wash. But home values were already going. But I do remember actually in 2009, I believe, Alderman, you made the statement at the time to raise the levy to keep people working at the city of Waukegan. There was a concern about some layoffs in several different areas of the city, and you made the statement, raise the levy, keep people working. That's what it was all about. The following year, the fact is that home values were dropping, and they're continuing to drop, and they're going to drop through next year. So be prepared. Next year is going to be as rough as this year.
But I guess, Your Honor, even though the dollar value, when we say keep the same, we still should have received the same dollar value. And with that being said, the rate would have automatically increased because the EAVs went down, not through our city, but throughout the country. So with the EAVs going down,
you needed to raise your percentage.
No, not necessarily. And I think this is where some clear explanation needs to come. If I say keep the same as the following year, from an alderman's perspective, I'm expecting to get, if it's $1, it's $1. To get that dollar, you might need to say 1.79 was our rate, but we have to get to 3.79 to get that same dollar. But we still need $1. The dollar amount is what we were expecting to see.
Alderman, that was explained multiple times in all the meetings.
Your Honor, I'm not disagreeing with you.
It was explained over and over to the people that sat down and talked to finance percentage was explained, how it works, multiple times. And we worked levies based on percentages. That's what yields the number. And so that's how we ended up where we are. I think honestly, though, going back and trying to compare to this year, it's impossible. You can't. As we told you from the very beginning what it was going to take to keep the amount of money to what it needed to be minus 5%. We were absorbing a 5% loss. Look, I think, you know, at Alderman Tempest, please.
The proposal that was before us, we had 3 proposals. One, take the city tax we're getting and double it. That was before this body, if you recall. The other proposal was raise the city portion of the taxes 50%. Or if you guys can't do that, keep it the same. Then I wondered why we didn't just go 4.9% without a public hearing, without all the controversy. And at that, before that, the New Sun runs an article, taxes to double. The public went wacko. My taxes are going to double. You're talking about the city part. So at that point, we voted no tax increase. No tax increase. We want to keep the same dollars. We want to budget for the same dollars. And that's, so we didn't get the automatic, we used to get the 5%, but I think our corporation council informed us that we had to have a special meeting because, but if you did not have to have it if you stay under 5%. And that came under Jim Edgar's era when he was governor because the cities were raising the taxes so much, he put a rule in that you could not raise them more than 5% unless you had a special hearing. I know I'm correct there. Okay, I like Jim Edgar. I belly bumped once for him, you know. And so I think that's where we got in problems. The council, I felt, we're going to get the same dollars that we're going to get here. But we're all in this together now. Whatever happened, it happened. I'm not going to point a finger to anybody. It happened, and we've got to work our way out of it. But this evening, Your Honor, we voted $60 more on everybody's house bill for garbage collection. $15 a quarter, 15 times 4 is $60, plus my water bill that comes in. And I'll be honest, if I could, I'd go private garbage collection, and I'd share my garbage can with my neighbor. I got 1 gallon or 2 of us. Hell, we can't fill either garbage can. I could probably take the 2 girls next door, and with my recycling, I could buy 1 garbage can, to be honest with you. But I don't have that choice, you know. I have to go with the program. So.
Well, you know, let's do this. If we could get back on base with our call the question. We have a request to call the question by Alderman Moiseo. So we have the motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by, do we have the second? Do we have a second?
I thought it was Moiseo.
No.
No, Moiseo called the question.
Okay.
So we need a second on the motion.
No. We already had a first and a second. Call the question. Let's just call the question.
Rivera made the motion. There was no second.
There was no second.
No.
Right. So we do need a second.
I called the motion. I said so moved. I need a second.
Rivera made
We need a second. Right. Do we have a second?
I'm going to second it, but I have a question. I heard 2 confusing statements. If this is voted down, will it eliminate the leaf pickup?
And that's, and I agree with you on that too.
It'll make it more difficult because of the cost to it.
Will it eliminate the leaf pickup? Here's an element that talks about the people that don't use leaf pickup. There's a lot of taxes that we pay that we're not affected.
That we don't use.
The biggest one that comes to mind is the school system. I don't have kids in school, but I pay school taxes.
A lot of it.
We all pay taxes that we're not affected directly. So I want to know, point blank, is this going to affect the leaf pickup? Waukegan has a lot of leaves, a lot of trees that
it does.
There's huge amounts of.
Well, Tom, what do you think?
That's not what this is.
No. If this gets eliminated, how do you think this is going to affect your leaf pickup?
Depends on what the council's pleasure is. If their pleasure is to continue to pick up leaves, then we'll pick up leaves.
We'll pick up leaves till we run out of money, I guess. I mean, let's be honest with one another. We're not printing it downstairs.
Your Honor.
So I mean, we can continue to do the services you request. Yes, Alderman Needham.
As we know, Public Works is stretched pretty thin right now. let's say we say do leaves, there's going to be no rate increase to help that. Where do we lose on the other end then at that time of year?
Well,
what would your
Tom,
guys,
why don't you come up front?
be doing otherwise?
Come on up front. It's going to certainly
Nothing,
affect our
because it's
overtime
fall.
budget.
You ain't doing nothing in fall season.
If we were not picking up leaves, what we would be doing is other activities. We'd be patching, we would be fixing sewers, we would be maybe televising sewers, we would be prepping equipment for winter, we would be doing a whole host of activities.
And a whole host of drainage.
Yes.
How much would that cost? You pointed that.
It is better.
How much would that cost?
What's-
$500,000?
What's that?
That's ongoing.
Whether they're line.
Of course it does. The wages don't change.
So we're really not saving or losing or gaining anything. But what we're doing is charging people an extra $7.50 a quarter, or $7.25 a quarter.
I'm sorry, please, from the audience, please. We had time for public comment.
But that's just my question. It's just charging people another $7.25 on their water bill every quarter, and it's an additional fee.
Okay, you know what, Tom, please go ahead and take your seat. Gentlemen, the question's been called. I think either you support it or you don't. If you say no, then we'll have to adjust accordingly. It may mean that we have to start watching our overtime closer. Our commodities might be affected. Our salt amount might be. You never know. No, it's not a scare tactic, Alderman Cunningham. It's the truth of what happens when you have to cut your budget. It's the truth of it.
Mayor,
this is where we're at.
You know,
and I honestly was hoping that we would be able to see that what we're trying to do here is to pay for these services, because by paying for the services, you keep the people working. That's the result of it.
Mayor,
please, Alderman Cunningham, and this
someone else,
ladies and gentlemen, this is the last, because the question has been called.
Well, I mean, you continue to respond to it, and if you're going to say,
and I'm giving you the courtesy of that response.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Mayor. But Mayor, it's been said over and over again. That's the reason I asked the question. Does this has anything to do with our budget? The word is no. If the word is no, it shouldn't have any effect as to whether we run out of money or not. Those, according to per Alderman Conkin here, those gentlemen and ladies who are out there doing the work in the city and the Public Works Department, they will be doing other tasks. From an operations standpoint, you just shift your bodies to do a certain project. And when that project is over with, then you go someplace else. Brush will be picked up. It's an all-year deal. Leaf pickup, I think if you're talking from a leaf pickup standpoint, the program that we're talking about, that's only with two, 3 weeks, maybe a month, 7 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks. 6 to 7 weeks. If you mean 6 to 7 weeks is going to be $500,000 or X amount of dollars where it can't be happening, then our operations is wrong. It's not anything with money. So the fact is, either we charge for this particular service because it's needed to kind of offset our budget, or we don't. But to tell me or to anyone else that we're going to do it until the money ain't going to never run out, not from an operations standpoint, in my opinion now.
Okay. Thank you,
All right,
Alderman.
thank you, sir.
We have the question has been called. We have the motion from Alderman Rivera.
Right.
Again, did we have the second?
Now, this,
Alderman Figueroa has the second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
No.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
I'm going to vote no, and I'm going to explain my vote. Veolia picks up leaves. You put them in the brown bag, put them at the curb with your on your garbage day. We passed and allowed a business to come into Waukegan that takes lawn and leaf and branch waste. It's on Belvedere Road behind Kmart, and takes them and recycles them. Anybody can bring them and drop them off for free. Okay? So what we're talking about is basically in the fall, when everybody rakes their leaves to the curb, the trucks come around with the big vacuums, a couple guys with rakes, and it takes 7, 8 weeks to do all that. I don't think taxing someone $7.25 a quarter, $7.25 a quarter, for something you can do yourself already under our existing garbage contract, and or take it to a recycling facility on your own, is something I want to put on you. So I vote no.
Alderman Rivera.
I'm going to vote no, too, because we're already, we went up on the, on item B. So, I mean, there are options, like Alderman said. So I'm
Alderman
voting
Cunningham.
no. No.
Alderman Conken.
No.
Alderman Moiseo.
No.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye. I love trees.
Alderman Newsom.
No.
Nays have it. Okay, it fails. All right, good. Thank you. Now we move on to, we have no communications. Item 10, new business and recommended actions by Corporation Counsel. Item A, approve payroll dated April 6, 2011 in the amount of $1,270,446.75. Take a motion by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Tempest. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item B, approve bills dated April 18, 2011 in the amount of $994,588.38. A motion by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Tempest. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Move to accept the monthly report from the Treasurer's Office for the month of March 2011. Motion by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Item D is the mayor's appointment to the Waukegan Housing Authority. Resident Commissioner Kitty Harden. Ms. Harden is here this evening. If you'd like to stand and just show. And so I'd like to accept a motion by Alderman.
So moved, but
Alderman Rivera?
Mayor, is this a volunteering position or? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
So moved.
Yeah, Wayne, let Wayne give you a little bit better insight into how she will interact with the Housing Authority.
By HUD standards, the commission, the Housing Authority Commission has to provide a resident commissioner. Ms. Harden has worked diligently in the Housing Authority, preparing herself for this position. I spoke with the director and the other commissioners on the board, and they are very pleased to have Ms. Harden accept this appointment. She currently lives in the Housing Authority building and provides many services to the residents currently. What she'll do now is she'll have a voice and a vote on the board on matters concerning Housing Authority issues. And we're very pleased to have you, Kitty.
Thank you.
Very good. We have the motion by Alderman Rivera, I believe, seconded by Alderman Newsom.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you know what? Would you give your second over to Alderman Cunningham? The second by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Congratulations. Very good. I'm sure that the residents will be well served by you. Item E, which is approval of the Lakeview Garden Plan as presented by the Greentown Waukegan Committee. This is to be located on
I'd like to hold this over. I didn't get a chance to read the full package. I'd like to review it a little longer, please.
Yeah, we have to hold it over. That's it. We have to hold it over. So, okay, absolutely. Will you do me a favor, Alderman Conken? Will you get a look at it between now and the next City Council meeting?
I will. Yes, sir.
And if you have any questions, you can also talk to Corporation Counsel about that. Did you have some comments you wanted to make?
The only thing, Alderman, of course you have the right to hold over. There is a time issue on this because if we're going to get the supplies and the seeds and get the things lined up already, it's getting late. So if we could at least act on it at the next meeting, I would greatly appreciate it.
If I could get some answers too, it's all blacktop there. You're going to lift all that blacktop off there, haul in black dirt and everything else in?
It's not blacktop there. No, it's kind of ground gravel. Yeah.
No, there's some blacktop in there on the further west side. I know that site from very well. It's just been overgrown with grass, but there's some blacktop in there.
Round and round conversation. Well, it's been held over, so if what you'd like to do is have your questions answered, why don't we take some time over the next couple of weeks, and you can come to us with your questions. I'm certain that members of Greentown be willing to meet with you on the site to walk it and give you a better feel for what's what. Is that all right? Okay, very good. Then we will move on to the big item, which is F1. Which is the approval of the appropriation ordinance for the City of Waukegan, Illinois, for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2011, and ending April 30th, 2012, as presented on April 18th, 2010. Take a motion by Alderman...
I move to hold this over.
Hold that over, too.
I'm sorry, who's holding this over?
I'd like to hold it over.
We have a request. You know what, I think Alderman Cunningham may have beat you out of the gate on that by a half a vowel. It's unfortunate that we are holding it over because it does leave a lot of things in flux, and we have spent months working on this. This is not just tonight coming before us, but the request has been made to hold it over, so therefore F1 has been held over. But what we do need to do is, being that has been held over, we are going to have some sort of continuing resolution
F2.
to be able...
So move.
Okay, hold on a second. I need to read it, Alderman. Item F2 was placed here in case F1 was held over, which we assumed it might be, hoped it wouldn't, but assumed it might be. F2 is to exercise the power granted by Section 8-1-7 of the Illinois Municipal Code to authorize the mayor or his designees, which staff department, or I'm sorry, the Finance Department, the department heads and others, to make necessary expenditures and during the 2011 through excuse me, I think there's a typo here. 2012 fiscal year on the basis of 1/12 of the appropriations made for the 2010-2011 fiscal year until May 31st, 2011, or until the 2011-2012 fiscal year appropriation ordinance is adopted, whichever takes place first, at which time such authority shall expire automatically. Furthermore, non-essential spending is discouraged until such time that the 2011 and 2012 appropriation ordinance has been adopted. Alderman Cunningham, did you make that motion?
Yes.
We have the motion by Alderman Cunningham, seconded by Alderman Moisio. Had his hand up already, I'm sorry. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempass.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moisio.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Ayes have it, so this will hopefully at the next city council meeting be resolved. Otherwise, we will have to do another one of these for the following month. So now we move on to item 11, ordinances and resolutions. Item A, ordinance to reflect resident permit parking only on Lake Court between West Street and MLK Jr. Avenue. Was this public safety or was this judiciary?
So move.
I'm sorry, just a moment.
Public safety.
Was this public safety?
It's been so long.
All right. Well, we have a motion by Alderman Cunningham. I believe this is in his ward, if I remember correctly. We have a second. We have a second by Alderman Newsom. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempass.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moisio.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item B, I believe this is a judiciary item.
So
Alderman
moved.
Figueroa?
So moved.
Would you like to read the ordinance and provide the motion?
The ordinance has to do with zoning calendar 2331, the conditional use permit for a hand car wash and detail facility at 550 North Green Bay Road. I believe
That's in my ward. So move.
Well, we have the motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Figueroa. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item C, I believe another Judiciary Committee item, Alderman Figueroa.
Yes, it is, Your Honor. This has to do with zoning calendar 2337. It's a conditional use permit for an auto repair facility located at 840 Grand Avenue, and that is in Alderman Tempest's ward.
We'll take a motion by Alderman Tempest, seconded by Alderman Figueroa. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item D, Alderman Figueroa.
Last item is zoning calendar 2339, conditional use permit for a pawn shop located at 1309 North Lewis Avenue. And we had a presentation on that last week, a lengthy presentation, more of an upscale pawn shop where they do a lot of stipulations that the city has required them to do. They're all in the ordinance, and that is in, this one is in Alderman Newsom's ward.
And we have had extensive discussions with our police chief as well, and they have agreed to work with our police department to make sure that they're not being used as a, you know, kind of a washout system for stolen goods. And that if we have somebody that we're concerned about bringing things into them, that we let them know who that person is, and they will not accept items from them. So yeah, I think there are safeguards in place regarding this. It is definitely an upscale sort of facility. So, Alderman Figueroa, would you be willing to make the motion on this?
Yes, I would, Your Honor.
We have the motion by Alderman Figueroa, seconded by Alderman Conken. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tempest.
No.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Pass.
The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we do need to go into executive session following the alderman's time. It'll be brief, but in essence, the meeting will be over following the alderman's time, and we will only come back in to go back into regular session, then adjourn for the rest of the evening. So I thank you for coming. I appreciate your attention. This is tough, and I recognize that. And everybody kind of looks at me and says, well, it's his fault. Okay, it's not, but I'll take the blame. I'm the mayor, so I have to take the blame for it. And, you know, I'm going to tell you something right now that a lot of you probably going to be very glad to hear. And if you cheer, that's fine. I can live with it. I've had worse done. I will not be running for the office of mayor again. This is it for me. I've been down this road too far. And to be honest with you, we've done the best we could for 2 years to run this city, and to run it well, and to fulfill our obligation to those that pay taxes in the city of Waukegan. But it's not enough, and I recognize that. So I can tell you right now, this is it for me. And some of you are going to be very happy, and maybe the next mayor will take us in deeper into debt and make sure everybody continues to work and provide the services that you all demand, but we don't want to pay our taxes for. That's something that, unfortunately, I tried and tried and tried to make clear to everybody what was at stake. And I failed. The truth and a straightforward presentation wasn't enough. So this is it for me. Maybe one of these guys up here will be your next mayor. Maybe somebody else. But you should know this is it. So thank you. And again, we're going to take a 5-minute break.
Alderman's time.
Oh, we're going to take a 5 minutes break before we go into alderman's time, if you don't mind.
Well, I'd like to continue now.
Right now, man.
I'd like to continue now, Mayor.
Yeah, let's go
Take the
now.
break when we get done speaking.
Well, then, you know what,
I think the-
Mr.
I
Clerk,
think the
I need
public sitting
to, I
out
need
there would like
to
to hear
step
it.
out for a minute, but you guys go ahead, and I'll be right back in. I just needed to.
Alderman Tempest.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to comment on the mayor's remarks, if I may. Thank you. Can you hear me now? I'd like to comment what the mayor just said. We're here to work with him for a better Waukegan, and we expect him to give us full for the next 2 years. As your alderman that just been elected for 4 years, you're only going to have 2 new faces up here, and we're dedicated to make this a better town. We've been through a hard economic time. Waukegan isn't the only community that this is facing. And as good old Diane says, she says, Veretti, if you don't mind me pointing out, Diane, she said, raise my taxes a little bit. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. It really is. But, you know, how much can you keep going up, you know? As our assessed valuation goes down, we need dollars to continue. Well, my comment for tonight I guess, Russ can maybe take care of this. I was up on Greenwood Avenue today from Western Avenue to Walnut. The alley in the rear is utterly a pig pen. A pig pen. You got the dumpsters there overflowing. You got dumpsters that are supposed to be enclosed. The enclosures are rotting away, bent, not maintained. And I would ask Russ to get code enforcement up there tomorrow and start writing citations. I'm tired of warnings. Write citations. They know the law. You know, you got so many days to do it or else. Here's the ticket. It's really bad. You need to go take a look at it. We had many votes up here tonight. We did raise the garbage thing, $15. Now, on top of that, we're going to have to raise the water rates a little bit. Who's getting who? We haven't raised it for 3 years. We should have been raising it every year a little bit. 2%, 2%, 2%. We would have gained 4.5% over the last 2 years, plus what we would have had this year, which we don't have. That's part of our problem. We need to look at those each time, as John Balin put us on that track at one time. Some of the things before us tonight were rather confusing. We get ordinances, they go to committee. I like to see the ordinance before me when I vote, or sit and read it. I want to be sure when I vote, I know what I'm voting on. I think it's very important for each alderman to know exactly what they're voting on. Again, on the leaves, we do not use Veolia good enough. Veolia takes advantage of the city. The taxpayers out there are going to have to learn to bundle their twigs in a nice little bundle and put them at the curb and let Veolia pick them up instead of Tom's guys running around picking them up, which he does so great, you know. We got financial problems, but we're going to work through them as a team. We will work through these. Layoffs, gentlemen, somehow I'd hate to see anybody lose their job. If you've never been there, you don't know the feeling. It's a terrible, terrible gut feeling. I'm out of work. But I'm afraid it's already happened somewhat. And all the aldermen up here thought we were going to have the same dollars that we had last year. That's what was proposed to us. Problem 1, problem 2, problem 3. 1, raise your taxes to 100% in the city, or 50%, or give me nothing. You got nothing. So we will work through this, but there's ways to get our better, meaner, trimmer, and work harder. And we don't want anybody to lose their job. We really don't. We need police, we need fire, but I'm afraid if we don't, things don't turn around, something's got to give. And that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alderman Needham.
Couldn't agree with you more, Coach. Duly noted. I won't kick a dead horse, but you're exactly right. We got to do it together.
If I may have the floor once, I believe this is going to be your last meeting?
Next meeting.
Oh, next meeting is your last? Oh,
You can do it the next meeting. You can do it the
I get
next
to
meeting.
say.
Okay, we'll do it then. Okay. We're losing 2 of our mainstays.
That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, Tony, too.
Yeah.
Larson.
My turn?
Yep.
Violet Ricker was up here earlier talking about the Art Space project. We are going on weekends, Saturdays and maybe Sundays before it's all over, We need volunteers to canvass the neighborhoods and ask for donations. This is a very critical project, not only for the renovation of the Karcher, but the future development of our downtown and leading that into the lakefront. I truly believe our master plan is going to work. The Karcher Hotel renovation called Art Space is going to be really something. So Violet is easily contacted through Waukegan Main Street. If you have a couple hours to spare over the next few Saturdays, please give her a call and show up and canvass your own neighborhoods. Ask for a few bucks from all your neighbors who want to see better things for Waukegan, because that's what it is. So please help. Paul Rice, who I got to know fairly well over the last 8 years, brought up the issue of why isn't Waukegan bringing in more businesses? And it's a fair question. But it's unfortunate, I guess, that more people don't understand that this council has worked extremely hard in conjunction with our development department, Russ Tomlin, Noel Kisher, et cetera, to bring in businesses. And let me just list a few of them that we've brought in over the last 8 years that I've been alderman, just in the 8th Ward, okay? Sjogren, the marine retail space on Sunset Avenue. Ace Hardware at the corner of York House and Lewis. Fire 'em Up. We had them come over from Gurnee, as Sjogren did as well. Northwestern University is building a building in the Oak Grove Business Park. The redevelopment of the old Cherry Electric plant. The Panantoni complex of warehouses and light industrial across the street on Sunset Avenue. Now Woodland Foods is coming in. That's going to be 200 jobs in the old Polyphone Packer business. We've also, in the 9th Ward recently, Onsrud out of Libertyville moved from Libertyville lock, stock, and barrel into a facility off of Waukegan Road. I mean, there's a constant turnover, constantly. Is it enough? Obviously not. But to say that this council and this alderman hasn't worked very hard to recruit and talk and shill for Waukegan is not correct. And I want the record to show that. There's 1,000 jobs right here that we brought in over the last number of years, just in the 8th Ward. I know the 9th Ward has tons more too. The whole complex out there with Walmart. I mean, it's just incredible, but is it enough? No. But to say that it's not being done is incorrect, and I feel everybody should know that. We've worked real hard to do positive things to bring in business and jobs to Waukegan. That's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Rivera.
Well, first of all, I want to give some kudos to Dave Marion and his staff. Code compliance for the job that you did, took care of the issue with the fire that we had on Catalpa. Many of our homes in the city of Waukegan, it just takes so much time for these banks, to take care of these problems when they're sitting open, trash all over the place. It just makes everyone else's property go down. It was handled within, what, two weeks? And I appreciate that very much. It's unacceptable, no question about it, but I appreciate the work that you did, and you took care of it. You and Carmen, I want to really thank her as well. I appreciate it. Also, FIS, former inmates striving together. I had a call from a young person that had an issue. He had a court date on Monday, and young people, they always like to procrastinate. This kid had to have community service done within his court date, which was on Monday. I asked him his court papers, looked at it. First thing that came to mind was FIS. Joe Schmidt over there took this kid in, went through the proper application. He was able to get his 30 hours that he needed, to get out of his situation. So those are things that, these aldermen do all the time as well. So I appreciate Joe Schmidt over there too as well. Now, the reason why, we held it over the appropriation ordinance and the budget talks, I really want to do whatever we can to save jobs, to have no layoffs in the city of Waukegan. I mean, we've had enough already, and it's tough. But I think we can do more. I think we can do a lot of things. You know, I know this might not go well with people because of the fact that, you know, we've got so many bonds, but we go for bonds for lawsuits. Why can't we go for bonds to save people's jobs? You know, and I don't understand that. I think we can. There's so many things that we can do. I like to see the unions come together. You know, I think it's important that the unions come together. You know, maybe we can come halfway, both sides, but we got to listen. We got to listen to them. We got to listen to ourselves. They got to listen to our situation too as well. So I'm hoping that these unions come together and we don't lose anyone at all. And that's everyone in the city. So thank you. That's all I have to say.
Alderman Cunningham.
First, I want to respond to some questions or concerns or comments that was made by some residents of the First Ward. As far as the one-way alleys, this was implemented about 4 years ago. It was implemented because we just had too many people speeding up and down those alleys. We had too many people. Hope there's not a fire. We just had too many people using the alleys inappropriately. So one of the best solutions for us was to make them a one-way alley. And if you can see the way it was done, you have some going south to the north, and then others going north to the south. It was never meant to be a burden on anyone. However, the plan was to control the traffic in the alleys and put the traffic back on the residents who live in that community. It was a strategy that has been working over the last 4 years. It's unfortunate for Joyce that the gas rates have gone up. That's not in my control or the city of Waukegan's. I don't think the state. But I think in due time, this too shall pass. As far as police wasting their time, that's the way I interpret that remark. If Ms. Hakeem could have listened to all the compliments that came from the residents of that community who has endured more pain from nuisance and people just disrespecting the homeowners, then she would see and understand why a strategy was put in place to prevent unwanted people who don't live in that community, to come and try to do their business. That is a place where people live. A school district is less than 2 blocks away, and you have the audacity to come up here and to tell us that we're wasting our time when we're trying to prevent young people from potentially getting hurt. If you would get out into the community and talk to people, speak to the police officer, speak to the chief of police and his staff, you will understand why stronger strategies must be put in place. When things are wrong, you put strategies in place to fix them. But that's what happens when you try to be a part-time activist, when this aldermancy is a full-time, all-the-time job. So I take like that this person would come up here and would even think that we are wasting our time. I can remember where I live at when the police will only come when things have already happened. We're putting a strategy in place to prevent them from happening. So I hope she heard that. Next, the appropriations. I personally feel there's a lot of work to do. I also personally feel that I think there is some things that we can do that can prevent these layoffs. I think there's some things that have transpired within the budget and that I think needs to be more clear. If it's not to me, hopefully to the rest of my colleagues on council floor. And one of those things happens to be this 2009 versus 2010 dollar amounts. I hear them all the time, but it's still not sinking in. If I ask for $1 today and you tell me $1 is going to come tomorrow, I'm expecting for that $1 to be here. Forget about the rate increase. What is this going? I'm expecting to get that $1 because I'm budgeting my plans, my family on that $1. Now that $1 has changed. You need to tell me why it changed and how it's changed. And if it wasn't the fault of me, then why should I have to pay the cost for it? So, Your Honor, I look forward to working with you. Obviously, you're competent, CEO of finance, to get a much better, clear understanding when it comes to this tax levy dollar amount. Not a rate, not an interest rate, but a dollar amount. All I know is 19 is what I thought I was going to get. I ended up with 15. That's what I know. How do we get to that number? I'm open to discuss. I'm with the 6th Ward Alderman Larry Tempest. Obviously, he's been on this ward longer than almost I've been alive, but working together is the only way that we're going to get past this. I don't have any ills against this mayor, his team. I respect what he is trying to do and is doing. But if it's unclear to me, how can I go out and present this to people within the 1st Ward, I think the rest of the aldermen, if it's unclear to us? Last but not least, that's entertainment, which was going to be held at the Genesee Theater on March the 7th, 2011. I think this is their 3rd or 7th production. I've had an opportunity to be involved in that, not involved in detail, but go and see some of the volunteerism. I think all of these are volunteers. All of these are volunteers. It's going to be held at the Genesee Theater. I encourage all of us to go out for a little laughter. After tonight's meeting, I think over the next 2 or 3 months, we're going to need it. Thank you. God bless.
Alderman Conkin.
Yes, my comments very simple. I also agree with Alderman Cunningham and Alderman Tempest that we will get through this together. We are going to get through everything. And I think along with Alderman Cunningham, I think there are things we can do that will lessen the impact on our employees. I don't think that, I think we got to do everything we can to keep them all working. Secondly, I'd just like to say it's been a pleasure working with Alderman Figueroa, Needham, and Larson. It's been a pleasure getting to know them, and I'd like to congratulate them on their hard work that they've put in their past terms. And I know they'll be around. I'll be able to talk to them and say hello and ask advice if I need it from them. And finally, you'll be starting to see this poster around. It's for the Memorial Day Parade, sponsored by the American Legion, the Army Junior ROTC program, the City of Waukegan, the Park District, and Main Street. May 30th is the day. It's going to kick off at Grand and Genesee, and we'll walk all the way down Genesee up Washington Street to Veterans Plaza, where there'll be typical Memorial Day speeches honoring our veterans. And what we're really pushing for is hoping to find people that would like to march in the parade. So whether you want to get a neighborhood float together, whether you want to get the neighborhood kids together and walk in the parade, just come down to honor the veterans. We'd be happy to have you. Please contact either myself or David Motley here at the city, and we'll be able to take care of that and get you in the roster and lined up for the parade. So thank you very much, and don't forget Memorial Day. That'll be May 30th, and that's all for me.
Alderman Moiseo.
Just a couple of quick comments. I got a fact sheet in front of me about work reduction. You know, that's obviously what most people are here for. I'm not going to read about the unions because there's still some negotiations going on there, and there may come a time that I have to, but when I hear around town, cut the fat, cut the fat, cut the fat. Well, here's some of the fat that has been cut. Over the past 2 years, 53% of the non-union workforce has been cut through layoffs. Non-union employees have received no across-the-board pay increase since May 1, 2008, increased their cost-sharing of health insurance, and were imposed with 12 furlough days during the recent fiscal year. The prior 2 years of non-union layoffs increased health insurance contributions and furloughs and have saved the city an estimated $1.3 million in wages and benefits. 8 non-union vacancies will be cut in 2011-2012 budget proposal, saving the city an additional estimated $690,000 in wages and benefits. That's the non-union fat that's been cut out. So when I know most people in this room understand that, but the public needs to understand that we up here as a team have tried to cut the fat. We haven't just looked at the little guy. The non-union are the chiefs, the brass, the supervisors, those people. They've taken their hit the last 2 years because they've understood. We have to try to find a balance here. We don't have as much money coming in. What do? We can't afford services. People that have gotten used to services. What do? The citizens told us, and Alderman Conkin, he can echo this, I got more calls than I ever got as an alderman on that. And not one person told me, Greg, be reasonable. They said, don't raise my taxes. I can't afford it. I'll lose my house. I said, understand what that means. That means that we're going to have some services that you're not going to get anymore, or personnel. And they said, everybody's got to take a bite of the apple. I'm just trying to be honest with everybody out there. I'm trying to be honest with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm trying to be honest with you. We've got to try to find a balance. All of us. I think the non-union has tried. Maybe there's some more. I don't know. That's one of the reasons we held over the appropriations, is to look for more. And lastly, I'd like to thank the 3 aldermen, Alderman Figueroa, Alderman Needham, and Alderman Larson for working with them. If the public knew how much Alderman Needham gave back, they'd be shocked. They'd be really shocked. But he was trying to lead by example. But I'm not going to say any more because he's a humble man, and I don't want that Irish temper to flare up. But if people knew, you'd be shocked. That's it.
Alderman Figueroa.
Thank you. I also, when we were talking about the appropriations, how many, not the appropriations, but the tax increase. About the tax increase, how many people in my ward, how many people call me and they were on fixed incomes. We have a lot of people on fixed incomes, a lot of elderly living in Waukegan who said they're having a struggle right now, making ends meet. Tax increase would kill them. Would kill them. They would have to turn their house over to the banks. They can't afford tax increases. It was a tough choice. I wasn't running in the last aldermanic election, but somehow I got dragged, my name got dragged into it, and a rumor got started that that the reason I wasn't running is because I'm leaving town, and just suffice it to know I'm going to be around. And so I love Waukegan. I grew up in Waukegan, went to school here, lived here most of my life, and I love this town. And I want to see it work. That's why I believe so strongly in the lakefront development and downtown revitalization. This Karcher Hotel and the art space is such a vital part of what's going on, what's going to happen with the downtown. I've seen other projects everywhere. They've had an art space project, and I keep reiterating this over and over and over again. Everywhere, everything around here has just blossomed economically. Businesses, commerce, just everything just seems to be like a atomic explosion of economic progress. And I'm sure it's going to happen again with this project too. I have a lot of faith in Waukegan. I think we have 1,500 acres on the lakefront, half of which have been set aside for lakefront development, That's going to expand the tax base, if you will, for the future. So we have to keep praying, we have to keep working, and we have to keep our eye on the vision of the lakefront development and everything that entails. When I started this position 10 years ago, it was never my intention to be a career politician. Not that there's anything wrong with that. My colleagues on that our career that have been working on this for a long time are very gifted and very dedicated, and they do a great job. I just didn't want to be at one time the oldest politician. I'm the second oldest. But I do want to say I want to thank my other colleagues, other aldermen on this on the council, for all the support. We've butted heads on issues many times, but we always work for one thing: the betterment of this city. That's all.
Alderman Newsom.
Thank you. I just wanted to add a little more information on That's Entertainment that Alderman Cunningham brought up. The Waukegan Township is a sponsor of this event, and it is put on to supplement some of the services that the township provides for the Staben House and the Staben Center. And it is a musical review of all volunteers that come out and they give of their own time. And they've been practicing since January. The tickets can be purchased at the Genesee Theater box office. They can be purchased at Park Place, or they can be purchased at Ticketmaster, and they're $20 a piece. And like he said, the event is May 7th. It starts at 7 p.m. And I've been there several times to this musical review, and it is awesome, the talent that we have in this community. It's an enjoyable event. It's worth coming to see. And I encourage you all to participate and help the Staben House and the Staben Center, their facilities for homeless men and for homeless women with children. Thank you in advance. Hopefully you can make it out.
Thank you. There's one thing that we didn't get a chance to mention, and a good resident, good friend of mine, good friend to the people of Waukegan, and a long history of doing business downtown, passed away approximately about 1 week ago in Arizona. That was Mr. Bob Morrison. If anybody ever went into the Globe department store as a child, you remember Mr. Morrison greeting people at the door, shaking hands, you know, just so happy to have the business of the community. And I will tell you, he was, to me, a good friend. And he's a real loss. There aren't very many people that were as kind-hearted as Bob Morrison, and as thoughtful and caring about where things are going and the people around him. And I just want to say that we give my condolences go out to his family. They're mostly spread out around the country now, but they are going to be having a memorial service for him coming up sometime in the near future. I would say keep those of you who were friends, knew him, keep your eyes on the newspaper, and there'll be an announcement coming up. But he was a great guy. He was very, very much of a singular type of individual, very caring. Now I will take a motion to go into executive session to to deal with settlement of claims. We have a motion by Alderman Tempest, seconded by Alderman Moisio. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good evening.
We're going to take a 5-minute break.
Anything yet? Let me know when you're ready, or do you just want to handwrite this one?
We can go anytime you're ready, Mayor.
Motion to come back into regular session by Alderman Cunningham, seconded by Alderman Moiseo. All in favor? Aye. So moved. Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion to come out of to adjourn by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Tempest. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.